Catch you on the rebound, the game within the game. I'm here with the Ross family. We have Adrianne Ross in the building. We have Ronald Ross in the building. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for
Thanks
coming.
for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Jordan.
Of course. Obviously, this is a difficult time for everybody, for athletes, for people that work in regular jobs, business owners. Everybody's kind of affected by COVID-19. Obviously, you're the guest. I've interviewed Adrianne before. Um, you're coaching at Texas Tech. You guys have had like one of the best seasons that you've had in a while, and now everything stops. What has that been like for you guys?
It's been kind of surreal, because you get so set to a routine of doing the same thing every day, preparing for games, and
right.
When we actually got hit with it, we were in Kansas City. We're about to play Texas at 11 o'clock. We had an 11 a.m. tip off.
Okay.
So we were going through the warm up process, and the day before, the NBA had canceled their season for the remainder, but they didn't cancel the NCAA yet. So literally, it's 10:40 a.m. They pull us off the court. Everybody off the court. It's over. Like what? Like we're like, mentally you're already zoned into the game, what you got to do, win.
Right.
But it was it. We got to get off the court. Everything was done. Got back to Texas. Nobody's on campus. Just everything got shut down. So it's been really interesting for sure.
Wow. And obviously you're a parent. What has that been like? So you have your kids at home every day. Are they homeschooled or are they just kind of like play? How do you kind of balance that?
They just finished up with school, but they were homeschooled for sure. So it was just kind of like taking the morning times, doing the homeschool thing, and then obviously doing something more recreational throughout the day, and just constantly trying to create ways to keep them entertained. So my iTunes bill went up from renting movies.
I can imagine
at an all-time high, and I got more apps on my phone than ever. But
right,
no, it's been incredible though. Like because coaching, man, you to put a lot of time in that gym, and you really you're not home as much. So it was really nice to be able to spend these last couple of months with the family, just a genuine time for sure.
Yeah, and I feel that same way. Adrianne, when me and you spoke, you talked endlessly about Ron and like his effect and his impact on your career and your life. Now that your professional playing career is over and like Ron is coaching, what can we kind of expect from you moving forward?
Well, we'll see. I'm playing it by ear right now.
Okay.
And when I say that, that's just me like allowing myself to have grace within this time. I am doing a lot. I'm wearing a few different hats.
Right.
But once you put it out there, it holds you up to a level like, well, when's it coming? When's it coming? But I'm getting so close to doing so many things that align with my heart and my purpose that I feel, I've always been a fan of fashion. I'm into it. With COVID, one thing it has allowed is time for me to take a break from the other things that I do and just really go into my own personal just passion project and it's not just a project, but it's something I've always loved with fashion. So I've been able to get kind of into that. Now that I know what I know in other areas, I'm applying this to that. So I'm trying to cover the grounds as far as LLCs and what do I want the brand to be? What is my goal in 6 months? What are all these things? So I'm answering a lot of hard questions to myself. Nice. So it's like once you put it out there, then you got to answer more and then you get overwhelmed.
True.
So I do. That's so my personal experience. But I'm just working on some different things. Just found out I'll be on the TCU Letterman's board. I'll be on board member for the TCU Letterman's Association.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That for me, that's really important because I'm here. It's home. TCU was always my second home.
Okay.
And so it's cool. And Ronald's 4.5 hours away. He got down this weekend. Thought he was just coming down to hang out, and we had a surprise quarantine party for him because he got his master's degree yesterday. So
wow, so congratulations.
First in the family, Jordan. It's just a lot. He's always kind of raised the bar, set the bar and stuff. So right now, when I say that's what I have going on, that's because I'm staying so present. As in this week, next week I could be. Who knows? I just saying what God says. But
I love that. I love how you always talk about like taking time to like heal, kind of remove yourself from everything that's going on. I kind of have problems with that myself, but like sometimes you post things and I'm like, okay, like is she like in my head right now? Because you just kind of like know what I'm dealing with, and I could always kind of like talk to you and like reason with you. Obviously, like a little earlier this year, like you guys both lost your mother. get your take from this. What has that been like for you guys, and how are you guys gonna like move forward from that? Obviously, you guys have been moving forward, but for the first son, what has that been like for you?
Oh, it was devastating, honestly. It was a tough process. It really is, and it never stops. It's one of those things you can't really prepare for. You always hear people, or you might witness them, have their losses and whatnot, and you kind of observe like, man, I can't imagine. And then when it actually happens, it's like, wow, it just hits you in places you can't, predict and whatnot. And
Right.
you stay together though. That's something that's really been big for us and our family. Like we've always had a small core. My other sister Ebony as well, and we just stay together. We constantly talk. We make sure we don't
So you've gotten closer.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotten
I
closer.
think we've definitely gotten closer. You know what I mean? And for me, most of my thoughts now are, before it's like, wow, she's so young, and cancer's a beast, and it just came and it took my mom like it was, we're not the only ones,
Right.
So what are we gonna do now?
Right.
So like we said, we gravitated towards each other. We got, created stronger bonds. And it's more just, reflecting on my mother is just kind of using the things that she taught us growing up and celebrate her life. You know what I mean? It's a constant look of thought of gratefulness,
Right.
just proud. And, it just gives me a lot of strength moving forward. It's not so much, holding my head down. I did, and I have times, I have moments, but most of my moments they're beautiful memories,
Right.
positive vibes from her. And just, I see her a lot, and my sisters daily, and, even my daughter and stuff. So, it's just it's incredible, and I'm just thankful for the time I had with her. So
that's beautiful, man. Obviously, you had the Mama Ross camp, and you guys did so much for your mother. So yeah, definitely shout out to Mama Ross, and
appreciate it.
Clearly, like you guys have, just took the Ross name, and you guys are building something. You guys are definitely building a legacy. I'm just happy and thankful to be in the presence of you guys and everything that's going on. Okay, to move forward, I really want you guys to, like I said, just dig in and like any questions that you guys have for me. So I'm young, I'm 27. I've been playing for 4 years, but I'm like with starting this, I'm already looking at my life after basketball. If I was to say I was in you guys' family and I'm younger than you, and you could pour into me while I'm on this mission, what are like some things that you would say? And this is for anybody.
I love the way that you come forward and you present yourself and your dreams and you put it on the table. Hey, I want to talk to y'all. Not only am I building my own personal brand and my podcast, this, that, and the other, but it really represents who you are, and it's someone that, yes, I play basketball. And not only do I play, I'm great at it. I've played at Texas Tech University. I've played at SMU. These are really big time institutes, and that alone people just are satisfied with, and they throw it on their resume and they're satisfied and they wait for people to come to them. So when I see you at 27 and we're at 35 and 37, we come back and we talk to you and just out here getting your dreams. And this is what I want to do. It's outside of just that. You're not labeled. You're not staying in one position and just them to saying this is what you do, and you're waiting for them to tell you what's your next move. You're creating your own. So it's cool that we can come and just tell our story and it inspire you, but then also it goes to show that it's also passing it down, because not only do you have the talent and the drive to do the things that you're doing and that we did, we just put ours, whatever was there. Now you have a platform like Instagram and like social media and YouTube and so many other things. So we can learn from you as well, because we're retired, freshly retired, 2018. We both retired from overseas. He played 13 years. I played 10 years. We have so many memories overseas.
Right.
I would hop on a train and I'll get back to you, but I just remember playing in Poland and Ronald in Germany. And I'm on my way. I'm already got my ticket bought and everything. I'm 3 hours in, got my big old Dre Beats headphones on, just jamming. And, and I call Ronald when I got some phone service and I'm like, hey, I'm on my way. I'll be there in 3 hours. And he's like, what? I don't know what. I don't know what plans.
Unannounced.
Okay.
Man,
say no to
my mom knew. She knew I was going, but he had no idea. And he's like, what? You tell he's just, we're living and stuff. And he's like, how do you know I don't got a game? I was like, I got your schedule, bro. You are at home. Open the door. And so we have all these memories. Ronald had flew my mom out to Germany, and my sister Ebony, they had came out there, and then we got them to Poland, and we sent them back down on the train. We just have all these great memories, and that was what we had. We spent so many downtime in our rooms and stuff like that, just working whatever we have. We didn't have what you have. So you spend this time, you go abroad, and then you work on a podcast and something that can propel you into the future. And not only that, give the platform for people like us to go forward. Right. So long story short, it's like, you give us a lot of credit, but you deserve like a lot just for bringing us on the show and just going out there and going to get it. I really believe in what you're doing and how you're doing it and stuff. So I just want to take this opportunity to keep talking about what we're talking about, but also shed some light on you.
And from my end, what I would tell you is, you know, whatever you want to do, obviously go for it. You know, like if I can, like myself, like I'll, you know, walk on 2 years at Texas Tech, but I started as a walk on, but I left as like, you know, first team, All American, all of this and whatever. But that's just go for it. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to do, go for it. And then, you know, played over, didn't make the NBA, can't hold my head down, picked it up, kept balling, made a little money. Right. What's next? You know what I mean? So went at What's Next hard, had a chance to run into some guys in Europe randomly in Croatia with a group. They had a music group. They were signed to the biggest label there. And, you know, we messed around and made a song. They were like, all right, you know, it's like, hey, I just do it for a hobby, keep me out of the, you know, so I'm, you know, just, you know, being responsible and whatnot. And they ended up sending it to their guys. And, you know, 3 out of 5 of them say, hey, run the song. We're going to make a video. Wow. Song went #1 in the country.
Yeah.
And it was like,
I didn't know that.
It was so cool. He was, and then,
but it was,
go ahead.
It was just a hobby though. You know what I mean? And I love music. Don't get me wrong, but you know, I was playing ball. Ball is my passion. Of course. Music's my passion as well, but basketball is, you know, that's what I do. So
definitely.
I mean, that was just another instance of going for it. You know what I mean? And it was around some people that really loved it, wanted to do it. And, you know, they were assigned to a group, but to a label, but that happened, you know, and then now just kind of the Texas Tech thing, got back, retired, like, man, coaching, you know, like, and I love coaching, you know what I mean? Like, because being a leader, you know, you kind of gravitate towards it naturally, and you know, it's a beautiful thing, and you can help people, and you start, you know, giving that knowledge that you've earned over the years, giving it back, you know, so it's really, you know, the feeling is amazing when it comes to that, but, you know, I've done that for 2 years, and you know, yesterday, like Adrianne mentioned, I got my master's degree, which is a blessing. Shout out to you know Texas Tech and Coach Beard and everybody back in Lubbock. But that was a blessing, and then but you know, now I'm getting out of coaching.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm getting out of coaching, and I want to get into the corporate world. You know, getting some things in real estate and things like that. So it's just another avenue. Am I nervous about it? Absolutely. You know, is there something different? It is, but I'm ready for it. You know, what's next? So I'm gonna go hard at it and just really try to build from that. So that's what I tell you. Just go for it and keep people around you that are constantly inspired to do something. You know. And then along that road, last thing is just like, it's good to prepare yourself. Not only it's easy to visualize the success and, okay, I'm going to make it here, make it that, but to have seeds to prepare, like, what if I fail here? How am I going to reboot myself here? Or, hey, what if this goes down? You know, how long am I going to, you know,
get the good and the bad.
Yep. So you're not necessarily preparing for failure, but you got an understanding of what you can do. What would be your your reaction to things if they don't go the way you know, plan on them to.
Definitely. Prepare for the worst. It doesn't get any worse than the worst. So I definitely get that. What was Italy like for you guys?
Yeah, for me, I went more so just for a vacation, and it was absolutely beautiful. Yes. The food was great, but it was great. The fashion was amazing. You know, that's where I was going. I was like, these people are dressed. Like, where are they going? Oh, just to the market. You know, so I'm like, I'm coming back to the States, dramatic as hell, because I'm inspired by what I see from abroad and this. Then I was like, life is so short, and I'm learning that. You know, and I was like, I want to look back when I'm, you know, 40, 50 and say, like, I went to Italy, I wore what I wanted, I did what I want, you know, tasted whatever foods. Yes, this was nasty. You just have the experience. You put yourself out there. That's what it was like for me. I didn't get to experience it with basketball like you guys. So maybe y'all can kind of tell me what it was like from the basketball aspect of it.
I mean, so when I first got there, I was in a little city, Casale Monferrato. Not a lot of people spoke English. So I was really having a hard time. I was pulling my hair out. Like, not a lot of people spoke English. So I couldn't really go anywhere and like communicate with people. I was ready to go. I was ready to go home. Me and my coach were kind of getting into it, and like he threatened to cut me, and I was like, "Cut me, send me home, like, please send me home."
An overseas coach threatened to cut you. You only had 30 points. What happened?
Definitely.
Shame on you.
Yeah, definitely. So I just told myself. He told me I spoke to the general manager. Like, thank God he spoke English and the coach. So he said, just try like a different approach it differently. So I just immersed myself in the culture. Like you said, I tried the foods and I went to the different cities and like the fashion. Like they're fearless.
Yeah.
They just wear whatever they want.
Confident.
Just with confidence.
Yeah.
So once I immersed myself in all of that, I went and seen like the Duomo in Milan
Good
and
for
all
you.
of those things. I was like, it's so much history here.
Yeah.
Like I probably couldn't see it all over those 10 months, but once I immersed myself, like I started to love it.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah. That's really good. Cool. And then isn't that the first country you went to? Was Italy, right?
It's the first country I went to. But obviously, like y'all said, very fashionable. But I thought they were like a beautiful people. Best food I ever had in my life was in Italy.
Okay.
Like just for me, like Italian food, there was nothing like it. I just really enjoyed it. It was a great time for me. But I started off in a small city like you. I had about 5, Italians around me. I didn't know none of them. I'm at like a convenience store or whatever.
Yeah.
They're trying to teach me Italian words. I'm like,
Did you pick up on any other language?
Okay. I did. Parlo poco Italiano.
Yeah,
so, a little bit.
I say the
actually.
Same thing.
So I got a little bit in there, but like it kind of goes away because all right, I'm in Italy. All right, now I'm in Germany for 4 years. Okay, now I'm in Greece.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you have little bits and pieces you keep from each, but it don't stay forever if you don't work on it.
Definitely. What was your favorite place that you played in? Would you say Italy?
Italy was really great. I really liked France. It was really cultured, but my favorite place would probably be I played in Israel for 1 year. Wow. And that's kind of like right off the Mediterranean, and it was just really Americanized. It's really small, and obviously, being in the Middle East, in Israel, there's always some kind of conflict. And when I was there, the actual Gaza war was going on in the south of Israel, on that border, but it didn't affect anything we had going on. But I just really loved it out there. The people were dope. They were, just really laid back, but everybody spoke English. The beaches were great. Like if you were into the nightlife was great. It was just it was a great vibe. You know what I mean? Like it was just different kind of food, everything. It was different than what I expected. You got like 1,000 Jews over here. You got this another religion over here, another over here, and it was just like just checking out Jerusalem, the Dead Sea. Just different things like that was just it was incredible. And of course Maccabi is Tel Aviv. Of course Tel Aviv is just an incredible city. So yeah,
Israel. I haven't gotten to Israel.
You'll like it, man. If you ever get an opportunity, I definitely I definitely suggest that for sure. Recommend it for you.
Nice. Okay, so we're gonna play this game, this or that.
Okay.
For both of you guys. So Kobe or MJ?
Kobe.
MJ.
Ooh, Lakers, Celtics.
Lakers.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Yeah.
Man, that's probably the end of that. Yeah, that's really all I kind of.
Who would you, Kobe or MJ?
LeBron.
Oh, it's been a good podcast. No shade. Let's put some respect on it. It was just a reaction. I don't know what happened.
Okay, I'm from that era.
Yeah. First of all,
tell me like it is.
Oh man.
Nah, you already told it like this. This is LeBron. It's like I can literally get shot when I leave here if people find out I was married because I love him though. LeBron is actually around the same age. So so when I was a 2003 like Adidas All-American, I got to go for the women's. They picked the top 24 in the country, and I was going to Atlanta. Ronald was at Texas Tech at the time. Hobbs, New Mexico didn't have an airport, so remember I had to go there and fly. In that experience, he was on the men's side.
Okay.
I didn't ever get to see him because he was busy getting pulled by Nike to get $90 million contracts, and he just wasn't the typical All-American and stuff. So since then, I got to see how it developed. And here I am just like trying to get a microwave in my contract overseas, whereas LeBron's just shining all over the world. So I see this, but then I'm like, but I saw it here first, like it was still always different, but it was to see that development. I was kind of like projecting like, well, I would have did it that way. I would have did it that way. So it was kind of unfair, but then now when I look back, I love the image. I love how he gives back. I love how he holds his family down.
It's more so that
I love everything. I love that he's with the Lakers. I'm not going to lie to you. It is still kind of awkward.
It is.
Because you just grow like you're an athlete, but when I pull myself out of it, like you're retired now, relax. It's dope what he's doing.
For sure.
Kobe.
Kobe.
He's better. He's the best to me.
I mean, Kobe was amazing.
Like, with respect on that. Rest in peace to that. But when it comes to just the straight up competitive debate as a player. I was always like,
they got this documentary called The Last Dance. So this guy named Michael Jordan. I think y'all should watch it. It's pretty good. It's really great.
Yeah, I definitely man.
recommend that for you guys.
Yeah, I definitely, man. So to grow up in that era of Michael Jordan and like seeing the way that the game is being played. Obviously, we're all getting to see now through The Last Dance what it was like, really like. But to live it, what was that like now?
Oh, it was great. You know, it's just kind of like he had this relentless approach to winning. He was just a straight killer, you know, and it was just day in, day out. Like, you always knew he was going to give you something. You know what I mean? It was just like he demanded it. And it was just like he imposed his will on, you know, just being, you know, like his presence of being on the court, whatever it was, whether it was practice, whatever the case was. Now we know more of that. But, you know, you knew like at some point in the game, he's going to make a run for it or end up with a game winning shot or this or that. And it was just like absolutely inspiring, you know? So for me, I just got a lot of that from it as a child and just kind of like, I want to be dominant. I don't care about being nice. I don't care about, you know, like I want to win and not necessarily win to where like, I broke this guy. Like, no, that's not the goal. We're playing a game right now. After practice, we can be boys. Now we got a job to do. I got a dream. I want to do this, you know, like I got some things I really want to accomplish. You get in the way of that, you know, like.
I can hands down see why Ronald would say MJ first because it was MJ first, and like, before it was anyone else. For me, it was Ronald. So I would mock a lot of the things that he did. Everyone always asked me like, you know, would you have went to Texas Tech? And I went back like, no, I don't want to.
I thought that would have been really cool.
No, well, that's at the time. I'm just like a little sister, like you know. But then I look back now, and everyone's like, well, why didn't you go to Texas Tech? And I would be like, well, actually. Ronald would have been the only reason that I went there. It just wasn't the school for me. Much respect to all the Red Raiders. I grew up obsessed. Ronald can tell you how much I love the Cheryl Swoops. You know, Marcia Sharp. It was the first place I got a college letter from in 6th grade from Texas Tech. Like, I knew I was going to be a Red Raider. Well, as I matured emotionally, I was like, I don't connect. But if I would have looked at it from another standpoint, I would I would have followed my bro. So it was Michael Jordan, then it was Ronald, and then learning his mentality. Ronald took so much from him, and it poured down, overfilled on me. He had this mental toughness of getting up and running. He never lost a sprint. So he never lost a sprint. Then I never lost a sprint. He comes home. He starts counting his trophies. I got a medal, a trophy, this, that. I got 12. Now I'm like, Mom, can I go to AAU tournament this weekend? I got to get 13. Like, you know, so I'm mirroring him. And it, to be truth be told, if Ronald he was a soccer player first. So if he would have continued on to go on and play soccer, who knows? I probably would have been playing soccer. I would have never known I was good at basketball because I was under him so much. So because Michael Jordan was who he was and had that strong mentality, that mental toughness, and he put it out there, you know, and did all of this, I got to get some of that credit, you know, and to Jordan. Yeah, to Jordan. Sure. But the best thing that I can bring up that my papa said the other day about Michael Jordan, and it's something fair to talk about, you know, when we were talking and visiting with our papa, you know, he's 77 years old, and we're just learning so much about our family. We understand time is precious, this, that, and the other, but he's a comedian. And all of our family, you know, I love our grandparents, our parents, because they're just raw, they're real, they've lived life, they don't have time to be
no filter.
No filter. So he was like, I'm tired of hearing all this stuff about Michael Jordan. Everybody says he's the best player in the world, but he never played me. And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, you're so funny. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm not joking. He said, we had so all serious. This talent. He said, and it was so true. And I love that he just went to bat for who he was as a person because he understood he had so much talent. He was the first Black quarterback in Hobbs, New Mexico history, you know, but because of the segregation, integration rules and all that stuff that was going on, he didn't have the same opportunities that we had. When he could have played baseball, he could have went to MLB, he could have did basketball, anything, you know, and because of everything that was going on in the world, you know, he wasn't able to do those things. He wasn't able to have those opportunities, but he had the talent. Now that we have the talent and the opportunities, it doesn't matter if it's basketball, business, or whatever it is. We owe it to the people that didn't, to our family, to our bloodline. So I'm learning a lot through that. So when I connect to MJ and I hear that, but then my grandpa ties me back down. He's really, it's really cool.
That's dope, man. I love that.
That's a confident way to look at it, though. I was
he said, he ain't played me.
I said, okay, Papa.
All right.
And I was like, ha,
that's Michael Jordan.
Yeah. I was like, calm down, Papa. But I loved it.
So I got a question for you, Jordan. So where would you see yourself, or like to see yourself in 5 years from now?
Okay, so my end goal is like kind of like my own show, like Arsenio Hall, Ellen, Steve Harvey,
Okay,
things like
okay.
that. Sports broadcasting on ESPN, doing the sideline game, kind of like things like that. Yeah. And
Nice,
then
man.
obviously being a father, finding a wife, like those are kind of like more important than all
Yeah,
that
but they'll
extra
flow with
stuff.
everything you're
Yeah,
doing for sure.
yeah.
So no, that's a beautiful. It's a beautiful thing for sure. It's
Mhm.
like it's a game changer, especially for people that haven't got married or have kids yet. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing like your own family.
Yeah.
I thought I was like, oh man, this and that. I was like, oh, there's nothing greater than just watching that little boy eat breakfast right now, or
Okay.
something like that. So it's just. Yeah, it's a really beautiful thing, and then you just go chase your dreams, and they support you, and they're your biggest fans, and it's really an incredible feeling for sure.
From what I've seen, just being overseas, without a wife, without kids, the guys who do have that, it's like they don't really have bad days. Obviously, they have bad days, but then they go home to their family, so it's like it's not as bad,
Yeah.
So definitely that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good point to make because the mental toughness that you have to have
Oh,
overseas,
yeah.
is alone as a foreigner,
It's
as
tough.
it's a lot to go. So and with us being so family oriented, and a lot of us, we grew up, and sometimes a lot of the time, or most of the time, family is all that we have, and then we build from that. But it's the foundation. So when you're over there building a whole new foundation, just having Ronald, parallel doing the same things, and I can get to him when I couldn't get all the way home. It was so cool and so beneficial. But then when he started having kids, when he was talking to you just now, I didn't know if he was talking to both of us.
About having kids and all of that.
Man, he just can't wait to.
I wasn't sliding on nothing subliminal.
Subliminal.
I get nervous a little bit.
Hey, don't throw me in there, man.
No, it's cool. I think that it's good. I think the most important thing, and one thing that I'm learning, that life has slowed down a bit, is and having those kind of goals, you learn to be a lot more intentional. Whenever I had lost my mom, and like it adds purpose to your life when you lose a parent figure. You know what I mean? And RIP to your dad too. It's so commendable what you did at Texas Tech, to be there and go through it and still be right here talking to us, fellowship, and then just getting through it, growing through it. That's dope.
Yeah.
But I just say, like, one thing that I've learned just from last year, a lot's going on in 2020, and a lot of people are like, what do I do? What do I do? But when we lost our mom in 2019, and, we lost unexpectedly, 7 months, hey, we're like, what the hell? But it was so hard, but then it was like, what do we do now? Because we literally did everything. We stopped our careers. We moved back. We had a system. We created this, that, and the other. She told us our last wishes. We spent this time together. And then after that, you take all of that, and what do you go to next? Relationships. It's hard to have basic friendships now. It's hard to have basic relationships now. You have to be so intentional. So if like that's something that I want, you want, we all want, it's like you have to be intentional. Okay, what can I do for you? What can you do for me? What can we do for each other? Are we pouring? Are we being a fountain? Are we being a drain? There's so many things that go into it. And then when you go through something like that, it's so easy to be like, deuces, this is not for me. Go to the next thing. So I think like if that's something that we all want to do, whatever it is next, whether it be a business endeavors, and many of them, it's the new age in 2020. Nobody just wants to be a lawyer anymore. It's like, I'm a lawyer, but I'm also, I got a shirt, man. I got a water bottle. I got a DJ. I do things like this, live. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I didn't see that when I was 27 overseas. I wasn't thinking about a podcast. I wish I would have. I had the connections. I had the platforms. I still have them. But now it's like God had other plans, But so I'm just like, I'm learning from you. Sometimes I have to go back. Since I don't have those experiences, I get to learn through you, or a lot of things with Ronald from the men's aspects. Now I can build these relationships. So that's just something for everybody. I think is just be intentional, intentional with our relationships. And also too, we all good people, and you know that you are. And if you are, it's like, it should put your foot down and have your own back first. You know what I mean? If something's not good for you and to you, then you got to keep going, because life is so short. And when you lose somebody so close to you, and it's easy to make those decisions. And then here comes the spirit. You feel it. You start seeing butterflies. It's 11:11 everywhere. They're in your dreams. It's like, good job, daughter.
That's true.
Yeah,
definitely
it's
manifestation, cool. Man.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I see Zoe. Is that her name?
Yep.
Like I have a niece and she's 5, and now I just see like, okay, like she's getting out there in the world, and I know that like time is flying, and every time I leave and I come back, she's like taller and stuff like that. How do you guys feel just like seeing a child grow up in today's world opposed to kind of like what you grew up into?
Now it's kind of like, because we kind of have more of the old school traditional parents,
Mhm.
I didn't have all these resources, this
Right.
and that. Now, I mean, everything with the internet, they're so exposed to everything,
Mhm.
like they're like opposed to TV, watching TV. Like it's more, hey, I'm on the phone or on the iPad or a
Mhm.
laptop and this and that.
Right.
So we don't necessarily like, from my standpoint, I don't necessarily shield her from everything.
Okay.
But I don't
Right.
expose her to everything. I'm like, this is what you don't do. This is what you like. It's okay to do this, but don't do this because of this reason,
Right.
or this and that. Because like they can be surprised by many things that go across the internet because that's just how it works.
True.
And you just can't catch everything. So
Right.
if you can kind of prepare them for what's happening in the world, who they are, and don't get so caught up. Obviously, it's not the internet. Like they're not her whole life. She's more into like school, sports, stuff like that. But
Right.
that's part of it. But I'm just using that as an example. But it's just just kind of really preparing them for everything that's out there. Opposed to when you get old enough, this will be like, no, you need to know a little bit about this, just a tad bit, not everything,
Not
but
everything.
enough to so you know what's going on around you and you're
Okay.
aware. As opposed to being surprised or whatnot.
Right.
Right on.
And
Right
I think,
on.
yeah, and your niece is so cute. I see her sometimes on your social media, and y'all have a bond. What's it like as an uncle? Because it's different for me as an aunt. That's why I like
Ooh.
hearing his opinion.
Well, she's a girl, so
Mhm.
like, sometimes like she don't listen, she don't want to mind,
Mhm.
and but I'm like a softie towards her, So just
Mhm.
finding that balance between like being stern and like, all right, she's a girl and she's dealing with like all of these emotions. I don't necessarily understand all of them. So
Mhm.
just finding that balance between like
I like
being
her
who I
already.
am, like being a man, and then just like
Mhm.
just turn me into like a straight soft marshmallow.
Mhm.
But I mean, I love it, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, just like it's for me, just seeing like a woman, like I know like she's gonna
Mhm.
grow into a woman
Yeah.
and she's gonna face all of these things that men face, but like now she has the same opportunities as
Mhm.
men,
Right.
which it wasn't always accessible the way that
Right.
it is now. So I'm thinking to myself like, yeah, she may want to be an athlete. I don't want to like force it on her,
Yeah.
but then she may want to be a businesswoman. She may want to do
Right.
philanthropy. I don't know, but
Right.
I just want to give her access to all of that, kind of let her see it. Like I bring her to the studio with me sometimes, let her
Right.
see that,
That's
and
awesome.
just give her a window into everything, so
Yeah.
she
And I
can
think
kind of
that's a good
choose.
message to send out too.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of things are learned behavior, And
Hmm.
so when you bring them into situations like that, they have imagination that is 10 times
Yeah.
brighter and wider. And, they're just
Hmm.
wide eyed. They have a incredible imagination.
Hmm.
So they can come in and you think that they're learning from you and they probably bored because they can do something else.
Yeah.
That's how I am with Zoe
Mhm.
as an aunt or whatever. It's just been so fun to see how her mind works,
Okay. Yeah.
She's just free. She's a free spirit. And so even as an aunt, like the only thing that's a cheat code for me is I work with tons of kids. I
Okay. Yeah.
train and I'm around them, and I
True.
have a genuine passion for kids.
Yeah.
Whether it be through philanthropy, this that I've always connected with kids.
Okay.
So when I connect with someone, I can talk to them. I know
Mhm.
their lingo if they're talking. And
Yeah.
I have this relationship. I don't know what it is. It's God given, and it's starting to make more and more sense as my life falls in. But it helps so much with my relationship with Zoe. I can tell when she just kind of wants to be left alone and she's
Okay.
so chill. But as soon as you turn on that music, then it's like, shoot, it's killing it. And it's like, okay. And then your niece
Yeah.
is so crazy. All she does is dance. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's all I post. It's her business. She likes it. This is what it's for. Y'all see her at home. She's chilling.
Yeah.
She's the highest academician in her classroom, straight A student, like all these things. And so
Yeah.
that's just, I'm not talk about just so, but you
Mhm.
can't just look at social media or anybody's family or this, that, and try to build it off of that because you don't know the work that goes into that.
It's true.
There's so many things that, yeah, it's just a lot more that goes into it than the 15 seconds you may get on a story.
Nice. Nice. And you have a son as
Yeah, I have a
well.
little son. Yeah, he's 4. He just wants to be a dinosaur right now. So I'm letting him rock out and live his
Yeah.
little 4-year-old life. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll see what roads he crosses when he's ready for it. So,
Got it.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So being a competitor, being an athlete, that father son one on one battle. When do you think you're gonna let him beat you? When he can beat you?
yeah, he'd have to. I'm gonna be. Yeah, he's gonna be 4. Yeah, he got a little time. I got a little time left.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I don't think I'll let him beat me. Actually,
He gonna have to
he's gonna
beat
have
you.
to earn it. Yeah,
Yeah. Right on.
he'll have to earn
Yeah.
it.
Me and my dad and my brother, they used to go down, man. It was serious.
Yeah, my dad didn't let me win, so that's kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
why he
Oh,
kind of.
And I remembered that day that I won. And I was walking. You kind of walk in the house with a whole different swagger about
Empty
yourself.
the trash. You empty the trash. Get the belt.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
That's cool.
Man, this has been an amazing conversation. I appreciate you guys coming through.
Absolutely.
Just want to send like blessings and all kind of like positive energy to everything that you guys are doing and everything that's gonna happen next. And it's been Catch You on the Rebound. That's it.
All right, thank you.